Hello everybody, welcome back and thanks for checking out my channel again. I may have just found either the best or worst deal on a router table you can buy. I'm hoping it's the best bang for your buck out there, but there's a chance it could be the worst. This Kobalt router table with the 10 amp router is currently 139 bucks. So when I saw it in the store, I thought, what do I really have to lose? Worst case, I can send it back. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this thing, see what we're working with. All right, so first things first, looks like the fence is sitting right on the top. And it does have a dust extraction port on it. Owner's manual. More cardboard. Okay, so it does need to be assembled. Box. That just looks like a typical router guide. You won't use that on the table. That's just if you're using your hands for it. 10 amp router. Doesn't really look poor quality or anything. Simple switch on it. There's no speed adjustment, so I'd say it's just a 1 speed. Table ends. And the tabletop. So I've got it laid out. I'll just open these up, get them in place, and see what we've got. This box is just accessories, miter gauge, boards, just miscellaneous. Power cord. There's actually 2 on there. I figured there would only be 1 just to plug the router into, but there's actually 2. And this piece, of course, the just router guide, I can set that aside for now because that's really only if you're using it handheld. So back in the box, that we go. And now we need to put it together. So it is plastic, not the highest quality, but that's what you would expect at this price point. Looks like the screws are already fitted in it. Should make installing it pretty easy. And I don't see that it came with a tool to assemble it, so you will probably need one. Let's tie it in here somewhere. Yep, came with everything you need. Right, so that is everything. You have your fence, your 2 sides, miscellaneous hardware and tools, your tabletop, miter, power switch, some guide boards, and a 10 amp router. So I'm gonna crack open the instructions and see what it takes to put this thing together. All right, so the first step is to bolt the top on, and to do that you have to remove these screws. They come pre-installed, and then they just line up with these holes. So I'll go ahead and get the top bolted on there first, and then everything else should kind of just fall into place. Also on the sides, there are these bolts here. You need to back those out enough for this to slip down on. I'm going to show you once I get it laid in place. So once you get those slipped on there, it actually lines these top holes up almost perfectly. So it'll just be minor adjustments after that. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, then I can tighten that top on. I just noticed this one was damaged in the package a little. Nothing that's going to impact it, but it is a little scuffed up. Probably from shipping it or something along those lines. So table's secure. That was very easy. Just the top screws and the side screws. The side screws do come with lock washers. I don't know if you can see that up there, but they are there. That was incredible. So in putting the power switch on, this does come with a screwdriver head on it. It is not big enough for these. So you're going to need a larger Phillips screwdriver to get these tight. It does have lock nuts. Probably due to vibration, but still easy to set up, but it probably could be done with this, but you would strip them out pretty quickly. It's just too small. With a comparison here. All right, so the router they give you with this is actually a pretty basic design. It's just on kind of a rack and pinion worm type gear to go up and down, which will work out pretty well. Just with the long Allen head they gave you that'll come down through and in the top. So I'm going to screw that to it. It looks like there's only 3 mounting screws to hold it up, and I only see 3 mounting screw ports on here. It doesn't say whether I'm supposed to leave the plastic or not, so I'm going to leave it and hope the screws are long enough. So what I'm doing to line this up is I'm dropping the adjustment Allen key down through the hole, and then I'll know which way to orient the router itself. All my screws are already in, and that'll give me a good idea where it really needs to go. So yeah, that'll work. That lines it up. And you're kind of doing this one blind, but I just want to get at least a few turns on each one, and then I can snug them up after. That one doesn't line up though. So let me tighten these two a little more. And I can try to figure out why. Okay. Well, it should. No, it actually goes on this one. I don't know what that one's for. Alright, so I pulled you back to the front, and hopefully you can get an angle of this, but I've got the key down and it just lowers, raises. And even with the plastic on, it gets it right flush with the top, so I think it's supposed to be more than that, and it would raise it too much. Alright, so the fence looks really easy to install. It has these bolts that come through it, and they're just twist locks. So you loosen them up a little so they have enough room to fall through the table, and that allows it to slide, and then you tighten it up as needed. And when you look at the top of the table, you see there's 2 there and 1 there, and that mimics on here, so it should just slip right in. All right, let's see if it fits. It's in there. it down, and you can actually change angles on this too, which is nice. So just to show the top here, I don't know how well the camera's picking this up, but it does have depth gauges on both sides. You can also determine angles using those. So you're also going to notice on the back you have these wing nuts. There's 2 on each of these blocks, and those loosen these front panels here so you can slide them. Kind of a nice feature actually, because you can seal it right off, or you can even expand the fence just a little by doing it. Well, one gripe with this so far, which isn't bad considering the price, when you put your guide on, not only are they really cheap, because they are, but the adjustment screws for them actually interfere with these ones. They touch each other. So they're very difficult to adjust. All right, so I put both of those on. I moved the adjustment knobs to the front. I don't like them in the front. I would prefer them in the back, but I mean, if I'm using these, I'm going to be using something that's going to glide underneath them anyways. So I guess that'll just be how it has to be. But overall, for 130 bucks, so far so good. And yes, I will admit I have not tried it yet. So I'm almost ready to fire it up though. This miter is really chintzy. It doesn't even really slide that well, so I don't think I'll use it very often. It's not very good. But the adjustments work. The fence is decent and very adjustable. So I might throw the collet and a bit in it and give it a try, see what happens. Okay, so I just put the collet adapter in it, put a round over bit in it. I plugged it in down here. All that's really left is to plug it into a wall and run a board through it. I found a piece of scrap wood that I'm going to run through. As you can see, this is crap. It's got a bunch of oil stains and stuff on it. It's going to get burned. I just figured it'd be a good one to test this thing out on. This is a pretty large round over bit, but not overly. So I guess I'll plug it in and see what happens. All right, I'm plugged in. I made sure power was on the router itself. So first fire up, I'm gonna see what happens here. Seems okay. So I guess I'll set this up and put a board through it. All right, this is about the best angle I could set this up to actually show it, the board going through. So hopefully I don't knock you over. Safety glasses for this one. Okay. Yeah, not bad. So 140 bucks, really a decent router table. The router's plenty powerful. I mean, I know this is pine, but it ripped through it very well. And that was just a round over bit. It wasn't like an aggressive chamfer or anything like that. But overall, I'm fairly impressed with how well that worked. For the price, I don't think you can beat it. It'd be a good idea to build a permanent stand for it. But 140 bucks, I couldn't not buy it when I saw it. So yeah, there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.